Today is World AIDS Day, and the Desert AIDS Project is remembering the millions lost globally to AIDS while renewing its commitment to offering care and services that help people with HIV live their best lives. I spoke today with DAP's Director of Brand Marketing, Stephen Henke. Stephen, as always, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Peter. It's good to see you.
First off, for people who are not familiar with World AIDS Day, what is it and why is it significant?
Well, World AIDS Day is marked, all around the world on December 1st every year. And it's significant because globally there's 38 million people living with HIV today. And that means those folks still need to be connected to quality and comprehensive health care. And organizations like Desert AIDS Project, use this day of the year to remember those we've lost, but also to recommit to staying with folks living with HIV as long as they need us to be with them on their healthcare journey.
In a year, Stephen, where much of the focus has been on another virus, coronavirus, it's important to remember that HIV is still very real. And even though there are treatments now available, it still kills about 1 million people a year.
That's right. And, if somebody knows their status can connected to the life-saving medication they need, there's no reason that they need to die. They can live long lives and thrive living with HIV. And so today, we recommit to making sure people know their status. We've set up our mobile testing van outside our Revival's Palm Springs store, and we're giving people free at-home HIV tests. What's unique about that is the location where our founders of DAP first did HIV testing back many years ago, when that location was the Desert Sun. The Desert Sun would close and they would come in and set up testing, and folks would drive in under darkness. It was a lot of stigma back then, and they would get tested for HIV. And so we're taking it right back to our roots, remembering that the solution for this epidemic, like the solution for COVID, is a community-led solution.
Do you see the stigma is lessening with HIV?
I think it is lessening. I think it depends on the community you live in, of course, and whatever family you might come from. It's not that stigma has ended. It has ended in really progressive cities like Palm Springs, but there's cities, small towns all across the world where stigma is a very real issue, and it keeps people from knowing their status and getting the treatment that they need. And that's why, today we're also, we normally do Everyday Heroes, and of course we can't have an in-person event, but we are honoring two local heroes, Dr. Terry Ketover and Dr. Tom Truhe, who co-chaired Everyday Heroes for many years. And we're giving them both an Everyday Heroes Award to honor their years of service and commitment to people living with HIV and AIDS in this community.
And as you know, Terry Ketover, certainly a very dear friend of mine. So glad to see her get this honor. How are things right now at DAP, and what does 2021 hold in store for DAP?
DAP is in a good place. During the pandemic, quickly opened a COVID-19 triage clinic. We continue to test folks for COVID, and of course it will be a destination for the vaccine when it's available safely to the community. But DAP also pivoted quickly, opening up virtual care to make sure everyone could stay connected and have their appointments, whether it be for primary HIV specialty or mental health care during this pandemic. And it continues to do that vital work. I think we learned during this pandemic that there are people in our community that were unfairly targeted by the COVID pandemic because they didn't have access to the care they needed. And 2021 is going to be a year of really making sure that there's a greater focus on healthcare equity. DAP, we believe that hope begins with health, and everyone deserves hope.
Stephen, thank you so much for speaking with us, and certainly keep up the great work at DAP.
It's good to see you. Thank you for acknowledging World AIDS Day today.